The security light on my desk was blinking. Red, silent, waiting. The woman standing in front of me kept her head down, fingers twisting the strap of a torn handbag. Dust clung to her shoes like evidence. My assistant's voice crackled through the speaker. "She's here for the maid position, sir." I didn't look up yet. I studied the file in my hand. Name, age, address, and a part of the city. People only leave when they're dead or desperate. Tell her to sit. The chair scraped softly across the marble floor. A sound I remembered too well. I lifted my eyes. She did too. Her breath caught. A small, sharp sound, like glass cracking. Her pupils widened as if she had seen a ghost wearing a tailored black suit. 5 years collapsed into that single stutter. I didn't smile. I didn't frown. I just pressed the security button once, lightly, beneath the desk. Not to call guards. Not yet. Just to lock the doors. She had said it in public. Loud enough for strangers to hear. Soft enough to wound only me. "You are pathetic," she spat, pulling her hand from mine. Then she climbed onto the back of a man, with arms like carved steel and a motorcycle that roared like hunger. Laughter followed them down the street. I stood there with cheap shoes, a cheap jacket, and a heart that still believed in loyalty. That was the day I learned something important. Love is only respected when it comes with power. I didn't chase her. I didn't beg. I watched her leave like a man watching a building burn that he no longer owned. And then I rebuilt myself somewhere fire could not reach. For months after she left, pieces of her still lived in me. Her voice in my head. Her perfume on my clothes. Her lies in my sleep. She had told me the biker was just a friend, that I was paranoid, that I imagined things. But imagination doesn't explain hotel receipts. It doesn't explain a second phone. It doesn't explain why she stopped touching me. I checked quietly. Phone records, messages, a screenshot someone sent me by accident. A photo of her laughing on his bike while I worked overtime to pay rent. The betrayal didn't explode. It seeped in. Slow, cold, permanent. I didn't confront her. I disappeared. Into work, into numbers, into ambitions sharp enough to cut the past out of me. Success is not loud. It is clean. It is security cameras in every corner. It is a house too big for memories. It is a life that does not look back. When my agency needed a new maid, I let my assistant schedule the interviews. I didn't read the names. I didn't need to. Fate brought her anyway. She looked smaller than I remembered. Her beauty had thinned into angles and worry. Her eyes carried the kind of hunger that only regret teaches. When she saw me, she stood up too fast. I didn't know this was you. I nodded once. Sit. Her knees trembled. "I need this job," she whispered. "Please, I'll do anything." The word anything tasted old. I slid the folder toward her. Inside was a photograph, her on the motorcycle, her arm around him, her smile wide and careless. Her throat tightened. "You said he was just a friend," I said quietly. Silence. "The kind that confesses," she cried. Not loud, controlled, desperate. "He left me," she said. "After 2 years. Took everything. I had nothing, no one." I leaned back in my chair. "So now you're here?" "Yes," her voice broke. "You were always kind?" I was stupid. I didn't know what I had. Kind. That word used to mean something to me. Now it just meant weak to people like her. I stood. Walked to the window. The city looked like a map of veins beneath me. "I already knew," I said. She blinked. "Knew what?" "Everything. Before you ever left." Her face drained. "I stayed because I wanted to see who you would choose." She opened her mouth. No sound came out. "You chose him," I continued. "And I chose myself." I turned back to her. "You are not here because you are unlucky. You are here because you spent loyalty like it was nothing." Her hands covered her face.
"I made a mistake."
"No," I said. "You made a decision." I pressed the security button again. This time, it summoned guards. They appeared quietly, efficiently. She stood in panic. "Wait, please!" "I don't need a maid who once cleaned my life out of me." Her knees buckled. "I loved you," she whispered. I believed her. That was the problem. "Love without respect is just appetite," I said. They took her arm. She didn't fight. She just looked at me like someone watching a door close from the wrong side. As they let her out, she said one last thing. "You became rich." I didn't answer. Rich was the least important thing I had become. When the room was empty again, I sat down. The chair across from me was still warm. I thought about the man I used to be, the one who stood on the street with nothing, but faith in someone who didn't deserve it. He died quietly. I built something stronger in his place. Not cruel, clear. Some people think revenge is loud. It isn't. It's knowing you don't need them to hurt them. It's watching them beg for a place in a life they abandoned, and realizing they were never worthy of entering it again.